So number 78. What did I title this? Taking action is hard. Inspiration can be found anywhere, even at Walmart. I'm going to share a little story that happened last week. I wanted to start a Shopify store like last July. It's January, so 6 months ago or so, selling sports signs. I don't have the paperwork here, but I had some trouble getting approved from the company. Long story short, they disapproved me or they didn't approve me. They weren't big with e-commerce, and so I kind of gave up on the whole idea. Had some health issues, went to the hospital in November, kind of reevaluated some things, and I was like, I really want to launch this sports store. I have a huge passion for sports. I want to sell these sports signs. I've constantly thought about it. So I started looking into other suppliers. I ended up finding a new one just about a month ago, and I noticed that they sold the signs from the first supplier. This new supplier is a distributor, so they have, I don't know, 50, 60, 100 different suppliers that they use, and one of them is the first company that I wanted to sell with. So it ended up working out, and so I started building a store around this sports signs, something I've wanted to do for 6 months, and I've been dragging my feet, making up excuses, not taking action. We always talk about it, and I had a little hiccup last week, and I found out why the sports signs weren't popular online. They're very unique, and it's because they're super heavy. They're very, very difficult to ship, and some of them are pretty large. One's the biggest one is 24 inches, so I don't know, and hard to ship. It's like $35 to ship, $36. So that hurt once I found that out. I was like, oh, for 6 months I've wanted to do this, and now I can't do it. So I went and took a walk. That's like my medicine. Going to take a walk. It's like my antidepressant. Anytime I'm pissed off about something or something's not working out, I go take a walk, and 9 times out of 10 I feel better. So I went and took a walk, and I made a phone call to this guy who bought my course, and him and I were kind of chatting about it, and he was talking about how he never takes action. He buys these courses and has a hard time taking action, which we can all relate to. Anyone that's bought a digital product or digital program, you buy them. I bought hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands of them over the last 6 or 7 years, probably in the hundreds, I'd say. And I've taken action on, I don't know, 10% of them, 20% of them. I forgot the statistics. I think it's like something like 90% of people don't even, I forgot how many people don't even like touch the course or open it. And like 90% don't even take action on it. So he was like, I feel like you're holding me accountable. We have these calls, we have these live trainings or these live calls every Thursday, Facebook Lives. And he's like, I feel like you're holding me accountable, and I'm actually putting this into action, So I was like, oh, that's cool, And I'm like, yeah, I can relate, I've like I said, I've bought tons of courses over the years and have a hard time taking action myself. And I told him I've had this idea for this sports sign store for 6 months, and I got turned down by one supplier, and I kind of I'm taking my ball and going home and not following through with it. And then finally I started looking into more. And I found a couple suppliers, and I still was dragging my feet. I found this new supplier that I'm currently using, and I got all the paperwork turned in, got approved. And it was 2 weeks ago, I have my Fitbit, and one of my daily habits is that I track every day on my little piece of paper is 10,000 steps. And 2 Sundays ago, I was not even close to 2,000 steps. I was at like 5,500. It was pouring rain outside. It was really, really cold. So I couldn't go do my steps outside. It'd be freezing. So I went to Walmart, and I walked around Walmart probably for close to an hour, about 5,000 steps, and just walked around inside the Walmart. Did like 6 laps, I think, 5 or 6 laps. And I had my Michigan hoodie on, and as I was walking, I saw these 2 men up ahead, and I had my headphones in. I wasn't really paying attention to these guys, but it looked like this guy was like standing there, and he was pulling like his pant leg up and like looking at me. And I was like, he must be looking at someone behind me. I'm not really going to pay attention. I'm just going to keep walking. And he kept like pulling up his pant leg, kind of like shaking his leg. I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing, And so I kind of like was looking at his leg because he was shaking like his foot, and I couldn't really see it. It was still a distance. So I like kind of scanned up his body, like I was checking the damn dude out, and I noticed he had noticed his hat. It was an Ohio State hat, and then I went right back down to his sock, and it was an Ohio State sock. I had my Michigan hoodie on, and then at that time I was pretty close to him. So him and I started chatting. I've never met this guy before, but just the power of sports. And if you don't know, Michigan, Ohio State are like the biggest rivalries, arguably the biggest rivalry in all of sports. They hate each other. And so we started chatting. We started chatting about the bowl season, how Ohio State sucked it up against Clemson, how Michigan sucked it up against Florida State, about how Jabril Peppers, a player from Michigan, didn't play, and it was like last minute, and this guy bet money on Michigan, and he was all mad because one of their star players didn't play in the bowl game, and they ended up losing and all that. So him and I started talking like for 5 minutes, like we've known each other for years. We've never talked to each other, I've never met each other. Gave each other five, like kind of gave each other a little hug and said like, good luck next year, nice meeting you, blah, blah, blah. And we didn't even get names, I don't think. And walked away, and it was just so cool. I was like, that's the power of sports. And it's happened to me before. I wear a lot of Michigan clothes, Detroit Lions clothes, a lot of sports stuff. And when I'm out and about, if you have a sports thing, it's amazing the power of sports to have the connection. If I didn't have this Michigan hoodie on, the guy would have never saw me, would have never made a comment about it. If I just had a black hoodie on or just a white T-shirt on, he would have never said anything. We would have never talked. In that moment right there, like I said, I was thinking about this sign store. I hadn't started the store. I was like, I was dragging my feet. I wasn't taking the action, and I took that as a sign from the big man upstairs, like, hey, you know what? That is the power of sports. That is why I love sports, Two guys that should be enemies, because their two teams hate each other, struck up a conversation, a 5-minute conversation inside Walmart. And again, I wouldn't have been there if I wasn't doing my Fitbit, if it wasn't raining outside, if I didn't have this Michigan hoodie. All these things, I started, not to get woo-woo, but I was like, that's a sign that I love sports, and I need to start this sports store. And so that week, I started the store. I started adding products to the store. Ran into a couple hiccups about the shipping and things like that. But, and like I said, I took this walk, and I was stressed out. But I was telling this guy on the phone this whole story because he was saying, I buy these courses, I don't take action, and I was like, you got to look for inspiration. And I told him I found it in Walmart. Of all places, me and this guy just bump into each other, and we just, again, to start talking football. And it inspired me to finally get my ass in gear after 6 months and start running with this store, start building out this store. And probably in the next 24 to 48 hours, within the next 48 hours, most likely tomorrow, I will be launching ads for this store. So 6 months of dragging my feet and a little trip to Walmart I was there for my Fitbit, my daily goal, kind of inspired me to take action. That was less than 2 weeks ago, and now I'm going to be running ads to the store. And honestly, I probably could have been running ads a couple days ago, but was working on some other things. So that, I just found some inspiration in that. That was my sign from up above, me and this guy bump into each other and we start talking sports, but that's the power of it. That's how much I love sports. So find inspiration anywhere. It's hard taking the action, but look for things. Be kind of self-aware about things. And like I said, I took it from the big man upstairs that this is a sign to, hey, get your fucking ass in gear and get this store going. This is sports. This is what you love. This is what you've wanted to do for 6 months. This is what you've been talking about for 6 months. Go out and do it, So that's it. I found some inspiration at Walmart, of all places. So be on the lookout for that type of stuff. You never know what's going to inspire you, where it's going to inspire you, and what's going to motivate you to kind of take action and get started with launching an e-commerce store, launching your own business, asking that girl out, whatever it is, So look for inspiration everywhere, even at Walmart. All right, that's it for now. If you want to join a group of dadpreneurs, there's a link down below to the side. I'm not sure exactly where it's at, but click on the link and come join a group of dadpreneurs, dads who are entrepreneurs, who are looking to better themselves, better their lives, better their business, better their communities. Click the link below and join us. Thank you.